Hi, good afternoon, good evening, anyone who's out there. Tis time for a Pilates session, Pilates mat session. Pilates mat session. Right, gonna give it a minute. I know lovely Miss Claire said she was joining me. She was just gonna get changed. And I am going to start standing, but I'm just going to sit here for a mo. Oh, the mat's filthy from being outside. Oh, there's Claire. Good. Hey, how's it going? Right. Oh, we've got a couple of faces on screen. Brilliant. Okay, guys. Well, then I am absolutely not going to dawdle. Let's get a move on. I didn't have any response about any particular parts you guys wanted to work on, body parts, so I'm going to go for a nice general session. And I also just want to remind you guys that Tuesdays are going to be more of our technical day, more of our foundational stuff. Thursdays is going to be a little bit of a more dynamic workout, and I would say a little bit more advanced. So preferably have a little bit of a foundational knowledge of your Pilates for the Thursday one, and always listen to your body no matter which session we're doing. So if something doesn't feel great, back off, maybe reset, try wriggle, and try in a different way. Never ever push into pain. I'm just going to throw that out there because I don't know who all is with me and doing these, so just always listen to your body. Feet underneath those sits bones, toes facing forward. Pick up all those toes and find the balance between the big ball, the baby ball, and the heel of the feet. And just lower those toes down. We inhale, take those arms up. And just feel yourself taking some space, and exhale as you reach those arms wide and just peel them outside and feel the weight of them. I'm feeling that definitely more on the front of my chest than the back of my body, so I am just going to drive my own conscious awareness to try and notice the shoulder blades a little bit more moving on my back as the ribs soften down, squeezing gently like you need a wee and pulling in that lower tummy. Just a sense of zipping up. One more time. Breathing in, just coming into your stance. Stay there as you breathe out, softening those ribs down, shoulders down. Inhale wide into the rib cage again. And exhale, we're going to float those arms forward for a little protraction and retraction. We're going to just slide the shoulder blades forward and slide them back together. And again, sliding them forward and sliding them back. For one more time, sliding them forward, sliding them back, and then letting them just find their home underneath your earlobes. Inhale, open those arms out nice and wide. Now extend the arms without tension, and we're going to palms forward, pulse them back. Breathing. Breathing in, inviting space through the front of that chest, and breathing out, and just waking up the back body. One more time, breathing in. And as you breathe out, let's just lift those arms up, sliding the ribs down, and roll it down. Drop the chin, curl down into the chest, pulling up the tummy and rolling all the way down, softening those knees. Now stay there for me, and I don't necessarily want to stretch my legs, but I want to lift my bottom up. Take a deep breath. And from there, anchor into the heels and let that tailbone curl down like you had the wall behind you and you were just rolling up a wall, vertebra by vertebra, coming back into the center. I'm going to go into my little squat, so sitting into those knees. Don't just throw the ribs out. Feel that extension in your back. Exhale into your angry cat, tucking the tail under, squeezing like you need a wee, and just letting the tummy push you up. Stretch those arms. Inhale. Exhale, stick out the tail and ripple it out vertebra by vertebra until you are lifting that chest and breastbone. And again, I'm going to just lengthen my arms, dropping the arms down, drop the head down, and rolling it up vertebra by vertebra. That's my pattern. Let's go for another 2 times. Taking a deep breath in, lifting those arms up. Exhale, rolling it down, softening the ribs down, pulling in the lower tummy, and folding forward. Stay there as you breathe in, and just lift the bottom up a little bit in the middle of your feet. Anchor those heels as you roll it up vertebra by vertebra, feeling the arches are lifted. And there's a real connection through the middle of the legs. Sitting into your squat, let that butt go back. Exhale into your angry cat, articulating your spine from the tailbone and letting it all kind of push you up. The breastbone is pushing up against the back of the chest. Inhale and release it out. Dive in with your head and lengthen forward and up. And maybe you can even straighten those arms again, bum wide, and then drop those arms down, relax the chest, and roll it back up, vertebra by vertebra. I'm going to do it one more time. Inhaling, breathing in. Let everything expand and fill up. Breathe out as you drop the chin to your chest and roll it down. That's it, all the way to the floor. Lift your bottom up a little higher. Relax that neck. Anchor the heels without swaying forward or backwards. Feeling those arches lift and staying in the middle of your feet. And inhale and sitting into little squat. Let that buttocks reach back. Don't just throw these ribs out. Angry cat, tuck that tail under, scoop up the lower belly, rounding the spine. I know I'm a bit close now, huh? Take a deep breath in and start to release it out. Sticking out that tail, ripple out through the spine. Maybe even extend those arms, lifting the chest, drop the arms down. Relax over those legs, rolling it up, vertebra by vertebra. Whew. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to start moving into the side body. I'm just going to take that right arm up and breathe out, push down into the right foot and just stretch up through the side. I'm not tensing my shoulder up, but I'm lengthening into the joints of my elbow, my wrist, my fingers, and then just have that lean where you kind of feel like you're pulling that tissue out nice and long. Breathing. We're going to bend those knees. And we're going to let that top arm just circle round. I'm not going to go any lower with my body, but just roll around the base of those ribs. Swap arms. Let that left arm, come across. Stretch those legs. And then come back up. And I'm going to reset the whole thing all over again, nice and slowly first time. So I'm going to reach up, pushing down into that left foot, up through the arm, and really kind of feel that extension through that tissue, without tensing it, and then start to feel that, that lengthening over. What space do I have? Breathing into it. Bending the knees. Let's just circle the arm around, getting a bit of stretch in the lat, and swapping the arms, coming to the side, stretching those legs, and then lifting it back up nice and tall. Alrighty, I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider, and I'm going to go a little bit faster. So we're going up, over, bend those knees, roll through, other side, arms, stretch those legs, coming up, other way, reach it over, bend the knees, circle it through, swap the arm, over the side, stretch the legs, and come back up again, and over, and then the bend, and roll, and over, and the stretch, and come back up last time, reach it over, bend the knees, circle it through, other arm. I like to give you movement that you have to think about. We're going to lift both of those arms up. My feet are a little wider than my pelvis, right? So I've got a good athletic stance. Going over to your right side and circle down past the right foot, past the left foot, and all the way back up. Other way, reach it over, circle round, and come back up. Again, those legs are like towers. The Eiffel Bloomin' Tower holding you up, yes? And around, and the pelvis is the top of your tower. And coming back up turn out those feet this time. Turn out the knees. Plie squat. Right shoulder forward, left shoulder back, and swap. Or whichever one it was. I'll take it. So long as you're swapping. Roll one forward, one back. And use the hand to kind of press the knee back. And the other one, press the knee back. And your butt is out. You're not tucking it under. And 2. And 1. Come back into the center. We're just going to walk those hands onto the floor and stretch those legs. Let the head fall. If you're too turned out in the feet and that doesn't feel comfortable, shift the feet slightly. Be happy. Be in a place where you can facilitate that turnout and hold it without strain. We're going to wrap the right hand around the left elbow, left hand around the right elbow, let the head just fall. And just do a little bit of the swaying from side to side. Feel how you push with the one foot, and the body swings over to the other. Kind of feel how you are transferring that weight. And let yourself just dangle as you're doing this. Remember, we are interacting with gravity. I've even got my eyes closed to heighten the input to my vestibular system, which fires into the cerebellum, if you're listening to the brain stuff. And then come back into the middle, hands down, bend those knees and flatten the back. Stick out that tushy, lift your chest. I feel like I've been talking to people behind me for a while. And then stretch those legs, pushing the bum up into the air. And again, hands on the floor, bending those knees. And stretching the legs. One more time, bending those knees. Good. Right. I'm going to come into my little ancestral squat, but I've just realized that when I shifted my feet too wide. There we go. And I've put my hands together, not because I'm praying, but because it helps me connect to my midline. It helps me feel like I'm really connecting with that center of me, pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And lifting the chest. This used to feel unbearable. I used to be here for like 2 or 3 seconds and I'd be like, if I don't come out now, I'm just going to cry. But it gets more bearable. So if you have to come out, come down, come out, come down, it's fine. And we're going to just put those hands down and we will stretch. Whew. We're going to do that one more time, much to your horror. Bend those knees, much to, I know, Kath's horror. Kath won't like me for this. And I'm going to put my hands on my knees. And I'm just going to kind of move one knee forward, one knee back. So I'm not quite as upright as I was last time. And yeah, there's a kind of rocking in my feet. Just kind of getting things going. Back into the center. We're going to stretch those legs. Hands are on those knees. Parallel your feet. So I'm in a lovely long tabletop line. We're going to reach the right arm forward next to your ear. And bring the hand back down to support you on that leg. Other arm reaching forward next to your ear. And then bringing it back down. Keep on going. Right arm forward next to your ear. Nice long flat back, ribs together. Watch out if it feels like this is really straight and the ribs might have fallen out. And come back down. Other side, pelvic floor, holding it in with that lower tummy. And bring it back down. Both arms reaching forward. Circle them out to the side. Take them forward again. I know you can feel your back working. And then drop those arms down. And we'll just walk those feet together. Bend the knees. Sit into a little squat. Heels off the ground. Bring your hands in front of your feet. I know you can't see my feet right now, but I'll get there. And then stretch those legs up. And now for me, walk one then the other. And just let it wriggle the bum. Keeping the heels flat on the ground and just walking, 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 walking for another 4 and another 3, 2 and 1. Stretching both. We're going to bend both of those knees and just come down onto the ground. I might just turn that way so that I've got a better view. Oh, we are close, aren't we? Spread those hands out. And we're just going to do a little rocking backwards and forwards, letting the buttocks widen. So the thing you're watching out for is that your hips don't tuck underneath like that. Because that's what a lot of us do, thinking that it's still straight. But it's really worth watching yourself in the mirror and giving permission for those hips to just kind of get all squishy. We've had that conversation. about the synovial fluid and how healthy movement in the joints produces synovial fluid, greasing them. All right, into a circle around those wrists. So my Thursday workout one is going to have a lot more standing on the hands, a lot more planking kind of stuff. I love that stuff. Going around the other way. So on a Tuesday, I want to make sure that we are preparing those wrists. We are working on our wrist flexibility and wrist strength. Just getting used to really using them, and the shoulders, because you can feel that through your shoulders. And then come back into the middle for a little threading the needle, because again, one of my favorite things to do. And then the other side, thread the needle going down and coming back up again. I'm just going to see if I can move it without throwing you on the floor. Down and up. Whoops. And again, thread the needle and come back up. Good. And thread the needle and come back up. So let's take that first side again. Thread the needle. Try and get the bum over those knees. And just allow the hips to be really wide, and we're going to slide the standing arm up so it's next to my ear, stretched out, making a lovely big capital L, taking your breath. Bringing the hand back, a little aware that my breath was very much up in my chest and not down to the belly. I'm going to try it this side, ear and shoulder down. Slide the standing arm up next to your ear. And just feel that extension, fingertips to buttocks, and breathe. Bringing the hand back and standing on that hand to push yourself back up off the floor. We're going to walk the left hand forward and the right hand slightly back from its neutral position, and we're going to go into push-ups. So we're going to do a little bend and a little press. And can we please not move the pelvis, so we're not moving the hips backwards and forwards. I'm still lowering my breastbone straight down to the floor where my hands would have been. And one more time. Good. Swap it out and get it going. Down and up. Up and down and up. And I want to feel like I'm pressing with all 10 fingers, not moving the hips, pushing with both heels of the hands, stretching those arms, engaging the 2 heads of the bicep and the good old 3 heads of the tricep. One more time, because I did lose count. That might be an extra. It's all right. Walk it back into the middle, coming down to, I'm going to go this way, coming to right shoulder, left shoulder. Touch right shoulder, touch left shoulder, touch right, touch left, touch right, touch left. Elbow down, 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 up, up. So I'm going right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm, and it's absolutely fine if you went left first. But I'm going to do 4 of them before I change. Then do the left side first. And just feel how you push with that one hand, how that relates to your shoulder, and hold. Love it. So now we're going to step back on that right leg. So step back on the right leg, toes tucked under. I know I'm on a little bit of a ledge, but it's not that much of a help, I promise. And then the left foot steps back, and then the right knee comes down onto the mat, and the left knee comes down onto the mat. Right leg goes back, left leg goes back, right knee comes down, left knee comes down. Right, left, right, left. Holding up that lower tummy, ribs are together. Should we go left leg now? Left leg back, right leg back. There is no change in alignment. There's no change in your posture. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And then just sit back and shake out your arms. Going to do a little bit of wrist mobilization. Okay, so I'm well aware that there are people who have done Pilates for a long time doing this, and there are people that have not been doing it with that along with me. So this one you can either do it on the knees again, or you can go ahead and come with me into a long plank, or modify the plank. Take the arms just slightly forward from where they are. Okay, so I'm going to step back into my plank position. Perfect world. I've got my fingers spread apart. I've got my hands directly under my shoulders, not forward from my shoulders, not back. Pressing outward with the hands to engage the lats. Feet maybe slightly further apart because I know I'm going to be going one arm and I need that wider base. Are you ready? Lower tummy engaged. Here we go. Touching the opposite shoulder. One, and then the other one. And then the one, and then the other one. And then one. Now try not to clench with those glutes, but rather push out into the heels and feel the whole back of the leg helping, not just the boom. And hoop, and hoop, and hoop. Last one, elbow, elbow. Here we go. I'm going right, and left. 2, and 3, and 4. Left arm, left. I should have my blimmin' heart rate monitor on, shouldn't I? And left, right. And one more time, left, right. Lovely. Now we're going to bring the right knee down, left knee down, right leg back, right, left leg back, right knee down, down, out, out, in, out, out. One more, in. Now the left, going in, out, in, out. Or if you were on your knees, you would obviously be doing the opposite, the one we did before. I should have mentioned that, sorry. And out. Walk the feet towards your hands, nice straight legs, bringing them in. Relax the neck, and then walk them back out again. Walking those feet out, 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 out. Sorry, I had to move my hands as well. Walking the feet in, and walking them out. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Now can I walk the hands to the feet and feel the weight on the arm as you push through it each time. Nice straight legs and going forward. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Smile and do it again. Hop back. 2, 3, 4. Land up and come forward. 2, 3, 4. Oh, lower those knees down. Push the bum back over the heels and take a little breather. Right, breathing right down into that bottom and just kind of feeling the back open out like it's a parachute when you're breathing in. Feeling those ribs expand, and when you breathe out, pelvic floor in and up, ribs softening down. And then let's just roll it back. Okay, so all the stuff on my mats. Let's come to our C scoops. So this creates a really foundational part of our practice. Getting your C curve correct and smooth, round, you know. At the end of the day, we need to roll on that spine. A lot of what we do does involve rolling and curling and shaping the spine through flexion. But it's also really important that we understand that it's not a rock band. It's a choir. It is volume up, volume down, not da, da, da. You know, you're not pounding your body. You're nourishing your body. So even though it's really strong in the abs, even what we just did is really strong on the arms, on the wrists, on the tummy, on the legs. But easy in, easy out. So with that intention, we come to our work on our bum. Legs together, toes down. Just take a moment to grow really tall. Think about your pixie ears. Get that head in line with your tail. And then extending the arms forward. Remember your protraction, retraction. Where do my shoulders live underneath my ears? And just taking a deep breath in. Breathe out from the bottom of the pelvic bowl. Squeeze like you need a wee and let that gently push you back. Finding your lower back opening with the weight of you sinking. Inhale as we tuck those ribs in, pull in the lower tummy, curling forward. Find your sits bones and lift it up tall. Let the arms lift your chest. Find your pixie ears. And we start again. And exhale, tucking that tail under. Letting the abdominals push you back. My best intention is to keep my toes down and weight bearing. finding the spine, finding the sits bones, lifting up super tall, and going again. Exhale, tucking that tail under. This little bit here for me is the bit that I'm busy trying to encourage myself to feel a little safer, more stable in and mobilized a little better. And now open those arms out to the side. Keep growing tall, reaching outwards from the chest as we rotate towards the right and then come back towards the center. So I want to feel like my rib cage is a screw cap and I'm screwing it on and off. And you know what? If you're a soda drinker, Coke, soda pop, do exactly that. Every time you screw that cap off, screw it right back on again. And come back into the center. I'm not kidding. And again, growing up nice and tall. When your body still has to, your immune system, your enzymes that are dealing with your nutrients have to still deal with aspartame and MSG and stuff like that. Bring those arms forward, as well as deal with inflammation in your body. Seriously? What do you think you are? Roll it down. You can only do so much. And that is why, walk those heels a little closer to your bum. And that is why, what's the word? When you don't eat, not starving yourself, but why those diets that have periods of, oh gosh, what's the word? Anywho, that's why it's good for you, because when you're not eating the junk, and therefore your body has time to recover. Just think about if you didn't eat the junk and actually ate the good stuff instead, your body would have the right nutrients to help you deal with inflammation in your body. So heels in line with those sit bones, toes facing forward. I sound like I'm lecturing and I'm actually sound really passionate. Let's go. Take a deep breath in. Tuck that tail under, rolling the back into the floor, squeezing like you need a wee, standing onto the feet and knees reaching forward as you peel that up. And pressing back into those upper arms, taking a deep breath in without clenching the bum. And exhale and peel it back down vertebra by vertebra. I'm going to do 2 more of these, but I'm also just going to add to what I was saying earlier, that people who know me will tell you that I am not a nutrition person. I am not a diet person, because I eat very little vegetables, or I don't eat any seafood. Knees reaching forward. But what I do eat, I do make at home, and rolling down as much as possible. Sometimes I'll treat myself to something that's in a box, pre-prepared, so I don't have to cook. But I'm very conscious of the fact that anything that's in a box that's pre-prepared has to have preservative. And preservative is something my body doesn't want to deal with. Roll it back. Try not to clench. Just standing down. So moderation is just key. What you put in your mouth really matters. As you roll it down, just nourish your body with your attention and say, okay, that's good. I feel good. Yeah? You feel balanced. Take those arms back overhead, taking a deep breath in. Breathe out into your chest lift, slide those ribs down, flatten the lower tummy, pressing down with the hands, widening your chest. Arms float up next to your ears, do not lose your chest lift. Exhale, bring it down, maybe you can curl up a little bit more, pulling the lower tummy in a little bit more and lower back overhead. Great, that's our pattern. First 3, exhale, slide those ribs down, add the chest lift, no tension in the neck. Inhale, lift those arms up. Yep, that'll load those upper abs a little more with the weight of the arms. Exhale, see if you can, use that added little strength that they didn't realize they had the first time, and lower it back down to the ground. And of course, as I do this, curling up, I'm checking out my belly doesn't go and stick out. Inhale, lifting it up, and even on my inhale, there's a sense of anchoring my tummy to my back, keeping my back on the floor. Curl up a little more if you can, and lower it back down to the ground. Hands slide back behind your head. This is a killer. Inhale, exhale, slide those ribs down, come to your chest lift, hold it. Inhale, bring those hands around the outside. Exhale, slide the ribs down and let your arms help you curl up a little bit more. Pull in that lower tummy. Now hold yourself there with your tummy as you bring the hands back behind your head and then lower it down one vertebra at a time with control. How do I get higher in my chest lift? That was it. Exhale, sliding those ribs down. Are you pulling in the belly button? Are you squeezing like a need, a wee, or did that lower poofy, poochy bit just pop out? Hands behind the legs. Bend those elbows, breathing out, curl up a little bit more. Relax those shoulders, relax the neck. Who's in charge? You're in charge. As you put your hands behind your head and you don't fall down. And then lower it down in control. Dun, dun, dun. And one more time. And exhale, curling it up. And if I tell you where I'm getting a cramp, you will giggle, I think. I'm getting a cramp on the outside of my right foot, curling it up. It has nothing to do with the action, but funny enough, fascially, that's where my body is finding the load is a bit heavy. And lowering it back down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, chest lift, curl it up. Right leg up to table, left leg up to table. And lower the head back down to the ground. Exhale, curl it up. Stretch the legs up into the air. Flex the feet. Point the feet. And lower the head back down. I know you can't see my feet. Exhale, curl it up. Little twist towards the right. Oh, come back to the center. Little twist towards the left. With the rib cage, the hips are pinned to the floor. And come back center, lower it back down. Bend those legs back to tabletop. We're going to take ourselves into a little crisscross. So breathing in, breathe out, no legs, just curl up into the chest lift. Now keep those elbows back. I don't want them crowding my face, and I don't want my shoulders to constipate my ears. I want really nice, long neck, head in the hands. As I breathe in, maybe I can feel my hands pulling my neck a little longer, and as I breathe out, I'm actually going to lower back down to the ground. So use that idea with the hands. Breathing in, lengthen the back of the neck. Breathing out, curling it up. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out to rotate the rib cage, not my elbows swinging, and come back center. Other side, rotate the rib cage and come back. My head, my arms are rotating because they're attached to my rib cage, not the other way around. And exhale, and I'm really trying to isolate these obliques to feel myself connect my left rib to my right hip, pulling in the bit in the middle to rotate that rib cage. It's pulling across. And then on the other side, right rib to left hip as it pulls me across. Come back into the center, lower the head back down. Bend those knees into your chest. Walk the feet back down onto the floor. Slide the right leg out nice and straight. And we kick up and lower down. And kick up and lower down. Keep the bum on the ground. And up. Bicycling, bend and stretch, lower. Bend, stretch, lower down. A bend and a stretch and lower down. And again, bend and a stretch and lower down. We do one more in this direction. And then I'm going to reverse it. So kick it up straight, bend the knee in, keep the bum on the ground, stretch it out. Kick it up straight, bend the knee in, and stretch it out. 2 to go. Very calmly, not judging, and just kind of letting yourself appreciate all the movements in your body. We're going to bring that leg in, put the foot back on the floor. Relax the pelvis. In fact, let's just open the right knee to the right side. And then stand on that left foot and just kind of jiggle backwards and forward. I know it's a little ridiculous, but it is for your nervous system. And then we'll bring that right knee back up. There's a lot of ridiculous things I do. So left leg sliding out straight. Little kicky, kicking it up and lowering it down. I love after a set like this how my hip feels. I love that it feels maybe just a little bit tired, but definitely alive. Not strained, but just kind of, hey, here I am. Bend, stretch, lower. Bend, stretch, lower down. And I'm conscious of the length of it. And I feel like a prima ballerina when I do this movement. It just makes me feel very elegant. Reverse it. Kick it up straight, bend it in, and extend it down. Kick it up straight, bend it in. I'm trying not to flare my ribs or arch my back. my throat, leave my bum on the ground, and then bend him back and put him back on the floor. You might say, now why are my hands still behind my head? Oh gosh, that's because we're going to add that into slightly more advanced set. So we're going to breathe in, come into the chest lift, same as before, just supporting the head with the hands. Keep those elbows back. The head is where it is because the ribs have curled off the ground. We're going to bring both knees into the chest and we're going to extend them out straight. So just extend them out long, keeping the back on the floor, and pull them back in. I'd like to think, which is not my reality today, because my back is feeling a little bit tight, but I'd like to think that I have my heels on a table and I was just sliding them straight out and straight back in. Yep, and sliding it straight out and straight back in. Normally I'd have them a little lower and I would be able to hold it at that level, but I can't today. And that's okay. I'm not going to be, disappointed about that. It's just today. I think that's a really important thing to take home, by the way. And bring it back in and lay the head down. Don't ever give up on something if you can't do it today. Try it again tomorrow. I'm still waiting to see some of you guys do the wall plank, feet against the wall plank, and see how long you can hold it, because I did the challenge and nobody came to play. I want somebody to play. Let's come up into the chest lift and we're going to go into our actual bicycling using both legs. So slide those ribs down, shoulders relaxed, head into the hands, and shall we split the legs? I've got my right one up, my left one out in front, and I'm going to pedal forward. So this top leg is pedaling forward. Bend the bottom leg, stretch it up. Bend the bottom leg, stretch it up. Bend the bottom leg, stretch it up. And a bend and extend, and a bend and extend. So in this movement, I want to feel myself pushing down with the back of my leg and activating sit bone to heel, that extensor chain. My belly is pressing my back into the floor and I've got a lovely chest lift, just enough that I can maintain. Can we reverse that? So pedaling backwards, bend it in and then stretch it forward. Bend it in, stretch it forward. Bend it in, and that's a split. There's a moment in this movement when everything is splitted, stretched out, bend and split. And that sometimes we lose when we kind of smush it all together. Yep, so nice and pretty. And one more time. And bend those knees back in, lay the head down, put those feet back down onto the ground, and then just slide it out, stretch. So I'm conscious that if your abdominals might be feeling a little bit beaten up at this point, but for those of you that are game and well practiced, we're going to move this on to a slightly different one. Same bicycling, but we're going to try to take it over to the corners. If you feel like you need to rest because your abs are burning, then do so rather than swearing at me tomorrow. Take a deep breath in, scoop up into that chest lift. Right. So I'm going to split my legs like I did before, and I'm going to take my right leg across to the left side as I pedal, and my left leg across to the right side, and across, and across, and across, and across, and across. No, I lost my direction. And across. Oh, I'm falling over. And across, and across. Pedal out, pedal out. And a 2, and a 2, and a 1. Whoop, and a 1. And then bring it back into the middle. I always like things that challenge my ability to hold on to my center, and that certainly did that because I fell over several times, which is great, which is fun. So let's go into supported roll up, hands under those thighs. Inhale, exhale as we curl forward, peeling up through the spine, right? So we know there is that C curve, we need it often. Tuck that tail under, see if you can control, roll it back down to the floor. Exhale as we control, roll it back up. And again, tuck it under and just to come back down. To come back up. Put the feet on the ground, a little further forward, and to roll back down. Arms back overhead if you can. As you curl up, if you need the hands to help you with the legs, you could do that. If you need to bend the legs a little bit more for that to happen, that's fine. If you need to lift one leg, that's okay. What I want you to do today is just focus on the smooth curl. Just try and find that rolling wave. Last time like this, unless you need to stick with this one, in which case that's awesome. Extend that right leg, pinching the knees together, tuck the tail under, roll away from it, keep that leg extended. Exhale, roll back up towards it, and bend and put it on the floor. Other leg extending it out, tuck that tail under, roll it back, reach. Inhale, exhale, tuck those ribs and scoop in the lower tummy, don't let it poof out. Peel it up, find your tall seat and lower it back down. Stretch your legs out, reach it over, flopsy flops into long sit, tuck that tail under, roll it all the way back down, squeeze your inseams. And again, if you need an assist, guys, take an assist. Don't get to that jerky place where you yank your back into an arch. Roll it back again. So this is all yummy. I quite like this version a lot, but I'm going to come into extension on the next one. So I'm going to reach all the way forward. Don't stop with the arms. Let the arms go forward and up, lifting to flatten that back into a long straight line. Drop it back down and roll back down. So if you find when you come into extension, you're virtually sitting up straight, that's fine. Again, roll it forward. Don't measure yourself by that. Measure it by how straight you can get, rather. Let it lengthen, and it's like all the puzzle pieces just into place. And reach it forward. If you've been in class with me, I may well have stuck my knees into your back at some point when we've done this. And one more time. And rolling into that extension. Oh. And then reaching it forward. Roll up to sitting position. I'm slowly undressing myself here. Sitting position. And we're going to, shoulders down, find C curve. So as you breathe out, tuck those abdominals under, find your C curve. Shoulders are over those hips. There's my lovely round shape. Now from here, I want to start to lean back and just feel those hips opening. Can you feel that? Can you feel the hips starting to open? And then curl forward. Keep your shape. It doesn't have to deepen. It just has to stay the same. Can I do that again? Can I keep in my C curve? It's like there was a fist just gently pushing me back, opening these hips in front, and then curling it forward, scooping in the belly. Peel yourself back up. Let's separate the legs into a little straddle. I'm going to put my hands on my thighs, and I'm literally just going to stroke my legs all the way down to the ankles and come back as far as you can. At the moment, there are some people who are actually isolating on their own, in lockdown on their own, and even though they might be going to the shops and seeing people, there's very little touch. So this is my touch. It's really nice to actually just make contact with myself in a touching manner. Maybe see if one of these you can almost go right underneath your feet and just kind of massage the bottom of your feet and come back up. And maybe one more, because it's good. Wherever you got to is good. So from here, I'm going to extend those arms, point your toes, start your tuck. My legs are still in straddle, and I still want to feel that sense of the hips opening. Where you feel you can, we're going to actually start to lift those legs up and grab a hold of them with your hands. And then we're going to extend them, let them lower back down, tuck the pelvis, tuck the tummy, roll forward, and lift back up. And I'm watching the screen like I can see what you're doing. I wish I could. Shoulders down. And again, tucking that tail under. Allow those hips to feel like they're opening. I know this is an almighty commitment, guys. Go for it. whoop, try keep the legs. Oh, extension is your friend, I swear. Like lift your back, stretch your legs. That almost counteracts each other, kind of balances each other. And then we're going to let go, slowly lower them down to the ground. Feel that to open the hips and then scoop into the tummy and come back up nice and tall. So we're going to do that, and that's going to take us into open leg rocker. Okay, I'm just turning slightly so I don't fall off the patio. Breathing in, exhale, tuck that pelvis under, start to roll back and let those hips open. Find the point at which you can lift the legs up in extension, right? And now find your C curve, pulling that lower tummy to roll back to your shoulder blades and roll forward and lift. We roll back to your shoulder blades and forward and lift. And the extension of the legs, I swear, is the key element. Even if you can't let your legs get straight, that sense of lengthening them and pushing them gently that way to kind of move your energy. Oh, I have to grab on there and lower them down. Lovely. So let's just take ourselves onto a kneeling position. And I'm just going to lift my camera slightly so that I am just a little bit more in the screen. Actually, I might even go down here. Right, pelvis is in neutral. Pubic bone gently pressing forward. I'm up on my shins, and already just that little tuck of the pelvis is giving me the stretch in those quads that I need after my open leg rocker, after lifting those legs up. So from here, we're going to take those arms forward, and just leaning back with a long straight spine from my nose to my knees, and then pressing against those shins, coming back up again. Yeah, I need to go back to feel those hips stretch. Keep the pubic bone in front, ribs down so you don't arch. Push against those shins and come back up. Good, and again, and reaching back. Shoulders down, press against the shins. Coming back up. One more time. Lead, the pubic bone is in front, tummy is flat. And press against those shins. Coming back. Let's go hands onto the floor. Tuck under your toes. Push the hips into the air. Chest to thighs, nipples to knees. Hold it there for me for a moment. Taking a deep breath in. Breathe out as you rock forward into your plank. Last time today, I swear. Hold it in the center of gravity, guys. Don't let that lower back dip. And if you look like this, press outward with your hands and engage those lats. Front leg pull. Right knee folds into your chest and step it back. Exhale, left in and step it back. Exhale, right in and step it back. Exhale, lift and step it back. Whoop, and back. And the other one, whoop. All right, right one. I'm going to make a little bit more advanced because I'll do this on Thursday. Push your hips up. Extend the toes up. Stretch the leg. Open that hip. It's a lovely big stretch. Stay there as you bend the leg heel to bum. You should get a little more stretch out of that hip and thigh. Stretch it back up again. And then lower the leg. Come forward into your plank. Left leg. Bring the knee in. And extend the hips up. Point the toe in the direction you want to go. Lift that thigh. And stretch. Now I know you can't see it, but I am going to bend that top leg. Bending it behind me, stretching my thigh a little more, stretch it back up again, lower down, come forward into plank, up stretch, walk the hands back to your feet, landing on those heels, just taking a nice deep breath in, shake out the neck, and roll it up, anchoring into those heels, and peeling it up vertebra by vertebra. Shaking it off. So even though I would have said that was more of a foundational class, it's because we covered technique and a little bit more precision, and also we're building blocks on some of the more advanced, tricky Pilates, classic Pilates exercises. So just building a little bit of background. And then Thursday I'm gonna put in a little bit of animal flow as well. But yeah, I don't normally wear my heart rate monitor. I will on Thursday because I reckon that will push my intensity up a little. Have a brilliant night. Thanks for being with me. Cheers. Oh, and if you guys have any questions on the brain thing, the next episode will come towards the end of the week, I promise. Thank you.